A dim room. A man, Alex, is staring at a brand new notebook. The first page is beautiful. He writes, Day 1, in perfect cursive. He looks energized. Fade to, 14 days later. The notebook is under a pile of mail. Alex is on the couch, scrolling through his phone, looking exhausted. We've all been Alex. We know that Day 1 energy. It's electric. It's the smell of new running shoes, the crisp first page of a journal, the excitement of a new diet. On Day 1, you feel like you could conquer the world. But then, Day 14 happens. The weather is gray. You had a bad day at work. That spark is gone. This is where most dreams go to die, in the gap between the excitement of starting and the satisfaction of finishing. We think we lack talent, or money, or luck. But the truth is simpler and more painful: we lack the bridge. That bridge has a name. It's called consistency. Today, we aren't just talking about a word. We are breaking down a blueprint. If you've ever felt like you're running in place, this is for you. Let's decode the 11 pillars of the one trait that separates the greats from the almost mates. C. Commit to the process, not the result. Liam was an aspiring painter. He spent years obsessing over the masterpiece. He wouldn't touch a brush unless he felt inspired. He waited for the perfect light, the perfect idea. In 3 years, he finished 2 paintings. Across town, there was Sarah. Sarah wasn't inspired every day. But she made a contract with herself: every morning at 7 a.m., I will spend 30 minutes putting paint on a canvas. Even if it's just one color. Even if it looks terrible. 2 years later, Liam was still waiting for inspiration. Sarah had filled 40 canvases. Because she did the work, her skills sharpened. Eventually, her mediocre daily work evolved into something world-class. She didn't commit to being famous, she committed to the 7 a.m. appointment. Consistency starts when you stop looking at the mountain peak and start looking at your feet. Commit to the schedule, not the outcome. Oh, overcome the initial resistance. Think of Marcus. Marcus wanted to start waking up at 5 a.m. to write his novel. Every morning, the alarm would go off, and a voice in his head, that resistance, would whisper, "It's cold. You're tired. You can do double work tomorrow." Marcus realized that the first 5 minutes were the only hard part. He started a rule, the 5-minute entry. He told himself he only had to sit at the desk for 5 minutes. If he wanted to go back to bed after that, he could. He never went back to bed. Once the engine was warm, the car wanted to drive. The hardest part of consistency is the transition from doing nothing to doing something. Master the first 5 minutes, and the rest will follow. And never stop when it gets boring. We often think elite athletes have lives full of constant adrenaline. But ask a pro swimmer like David. David spends 4 hours a day looking at a blue line at the bottom of a pool. It is silent. It is repetitive. It is, frankly, boring. David's rival was more talented, but the rival hated the boredom. He would skip practice when he didn't feel it. David embraced the boredom. He turned the blue line into his sanctuary. Success is often just a pile of boring tasks performed with excellence. When the novelty wears off, that's when the real growth begins. Small wins lead to big victories. Imagine 2 friends, Ben and Jerry. Ben is offered $1 million right now. Jerry is offered a single penny that doubles in value every day for 31 days. Ben laughs and takes the million. For the first 20 days, Ben is a king. Jerry has barely enough to buy a nice dinner. But because of the consistency of doubling, something happens on day 31. Jerry's penny has turned into over $10 million. Consistency is compound interest for your life. Small, seemingly invisible gains today become an unstoppable force tomorrow. Ignore the noise. Elena started a small woodworking shop in her garage. Her friends told her she was wasting her time. Social media showed people her age traveling the world and living their best lives. The noise was deafening. You're falling behind. You're doing it wrong. Elena put on noise-canceling headphones, literally and metaphorically. She focused on the wood in front of her. She stopped checking the scoreboard of other people's lives. Comparison is the thief of consistency. To stay the course, you must become deaf to the opinions of those who aren't walking your path. Stay the course, through the plateau. Consider the Chinese bamboo. You plant it, water it, and fertilize it for 4 years, and nothing happens. Not a single sprout. You might think you're failing. You might think the seed is dead. Then, in the 5th year, it grows 80 feet in 6 weeks. Did it grow 80 feet in 6 weeks? No. It grew 80 feet in 5 years. If the farmer had stopped watering it for 1 day during those 4 empty years, the tree would have died in the ground. Just because you don't see results doesn't mean you aren't growing. You are building the root system. Trust the timeline. Kieran was 30 years old when he decided to become a doctor. He complained to his mentor, "It will take 7 years to finish. I'll be 37 by the time I'm done." The mentor looked at him and said, "Kieran, you're going to be 37 anyway. You might as well be 37 and a doctor." Kieran stopped rushing. He trusted the timeline. He focused on passing the next exam, then the next. Time is going to pass. The question is, where will you be when it does? Trust that the time invested is never wasted. Elevate your effort, incrementally. In Greek mythology, Milo wanted to become the strongest man in the world. He didn't start by lifting a giant bull. He started by lifting a newborn calf every single day. As the calf grew, Milo got stronger. He didn't notice the weight increasing because he was consistent. By the time the calf was a full-grown bull, Milo was lifting it over his shoulders. Consistency isn't just about repeating, it's about evolving. Once a task becomes easy, add 1% more effort. Notice the progress. Maya was hiking a trail that spanned 2,000 miles. Some days, she felt like she hadn't moved at all. The trees looked the same, the path felt the same. Every evening, she looked at her map and marked her progress with a red pen. When she felt like quitting, she looked back at the red lines from the weeks before. It reminded her that she was miles away from where she started. We often quit because we forget how far we've come. Keep a record. Celebrate the boring milestones. Choose discipline over motivation. There were 2 runners, Sam and Leo. Sam ran whenever he felt motivated. When the sun was out and his favorite song was playing, he was the fastest man alive. But when it rained, Sam stayed in bed. Leo didn't care about motivation. He had a rule: if it's Tuesday, I run. One Tuesday, a massive thunderstorm hit. Leo didn't feel like running. He hated the idea. But he put on his shoes because it was Tuesday. Years later, Leo was a marathon champion. Sam was still waiting for a sunny day. Motivation is a feeling, discipline is a decision. Feelings change. Decisions build empires. Why yield long-term results? An old man was planting fruit trees. A young man walked by and laughed. "Old man, you'll never live to see those trees bear fruit. Why bother?" The old man smiled and said, "I have eaten fruit my whole life from trees I did not plant. I plant these today so that others may eat, and so that I may leave a legacy of growth." By the end of his life, the orchard was the pride of the village. The old man sat in the shade of the very trees he planted, enjoying a harvest that only came because he was consistent decades prior. The ultimate reward of consistency isn't just the goal, it's the person you become and the legacy you leave. To sum up, consistency isn't a superpower. It's not something you're born with. It's a muscle you build. You don't need to be the best today. You just need to be 1% better than you were yesterday. So, here is your challenge. Don't try to change your whole life today. Pick one thing. One thing you will do every day for the next 30 days, no matter what. What is that one thing for you? Asterisk, is it writing 100 words? Is it 10 push-ups? Is it reading 5 pages? Tell us in the comments below what your one thing is. Let's hold each other accountable. If this message reached you at the right time, hit the like button and subscribe. Share this with one person who you know is struggling to stay the course. Remember, the world is full of talented people who quit. Be the person who stayed. Stay consistent. We'll see you in the next one.